Okay, so welcome everybody to the GpsGate AI webinar. We're really enthusiastic, the people in the room in the webinar. It's me, Sven Vedin, in GpsGate, managing sales. And we have...
Yeah, I'm Hjalmar Moa. I'm heading the AI team here at GpsGate.
What you can do before we start, if you don't have a cloud account, you can use this QR code and scan it and sign up for a cloud account. What you get then is not a demo, you get a real production system. You will be able to play around with what we show you today. And AI is now launched in our cloud solution. So we are really happy about that and enthusiastic about it. So let's test and let's give us feedback and give us input on how you use AI going forward. So this is the agenda for today. So how can GpsGate AI help you today? So we have been testing a lot and we have been letting some customers testing and we have received some feedback. So we will give you a summary on what we have found so far with AI. The future is bright and it will be very interesting to see where this goes. And then we will show you some use cases, both from the desktop GUI and from the Fleet app. So you can see what kind of prompting, questioning that you can do to the AI, what type of help you can get. And then stay alert during the webinar because there will be a challenge at the end of it. And this challenge will, of course, have very nice prizes. So stay tuned to that.
Yep.
And then question and answers. During the webinar, we will have the chat window open, so you can chat anything during the webinar. And we will answer that at the end. If there is no time, not enough time, we will answer you in writing after the webinar as well. So we move into the 4 areas that we so far have identified as very interesting for AI in GpsGate. One is to configure and learn GpsGate. You can set up things, you can create, learn about how to do things in GpsGate. GpsGate is a comprehensive platform, as you know. So this is one area that we will dig into. We will also dig into Fleet Insights. What we mean there is ask questions about your fleet, what it has done for a specific event or some time period. And then we're going to look into some example of device management and troubleshooting. So we will show you examples of that. And then also, as many of you know, we have scripting in GpsGate. It's a powerful tool to extend GpsGate functionality. And we have also introduced AI in that tool. So we'll show you an example of that as well. So when we come to configure and learn, Hjalmar, what do you say about that?
So configure and learn, like GpsGate, it's a really comprehensive product. It has a lot of features, but that really puts the effort on the customer to learn and how to use this, how to set this up. So the AI is really good at searching through text and seeing and solving problems. So we gave it access to all of our knowledge base. So if you ask the AI, how do I do something? It can be something as simple as what kind of report and so on, or how to connect a driver with a vehicle or whatnot. The AI search through the knowledge base, look through what you have, and we can just tell you how to do things.
Yeah, and I also believe that when you have a new colleague coming in, maybe you know GpsGate upside down, inside out, but maybe your new colleague, it will take you a lot of time to get him up to speed. So the AI tool can be a very good tool for you to teach your new colleague to get up to speed. So
this way you don't need to do as much support.
Yeah. So an example of that, something that we know that all of you guys are struggling with, is connecting various types of devices. We know that it's an essential part of, and it's a big friction that we want to remove all the time. So AI can help to actually connect the tracker. And here is an example of where you ask, help me to add a Titanic FMC 003. And what happens here is that it's answering the question by bringing you to the right spot in the product. And it's presenting you with the next step of connecting your Titanic device. So, yeah, Hjalmar, how does this work?
Yeah, like for administration, like it really needs trust. So in this case, when you want to add something, then we rather open the window and guide you to the right place so that like AI can't be held accountable. So it's better to just show you exactly in the product how to do things. While in other places, it might just be easier to give you a description of what to do. So this is something that we constantly tune to make it better. If you want to add a tracker, in this case, it's best to just open the tracker window. If you have another problem, like ask it why doesn't it show up and so on. But in this case, yeah, here we are.
Yeah. So sometimes we will let the human take the decision. The AI tool is giving a proposal of what to do next, and then the human, the administrator, is actually submitting. Yes, this is correct. Move me forward. So that's one way of doing it. Another example is if you don't know how to create a geofence, for example, a very common question to an administrator, how do I create the root geofence, or how do I create a circular geofence? Then you simply ask that question, and the AI tool is then going through all the resources it has, and it's presenting you with some information back on how to do it. It's not necessarily opening the window in this case, but it's giving you a guide instead.
Yeah. So it's a judgment about how much to do for you and how much you could learn from this. And geofence is such a simple concept that it's something that you should learn, but it can also be a lot harder things that you don't know how to connect a driver with a vehicle or whatnot. So that's why we give you an example, like how to do it, and to build further knowledge, we can link you to the knowledge base as well.
Yeah. So basically, every feature in GpsGate, please feel free to use the AI tool and ask about it and see what the result you get. And it's quite fun actually to do that. So next area is about how to get pulling fleet insights out of the system. And what resources are we giving to the AI to help us with that?
Yeah, fleet insights can be a lot of different things. For every setup is different. So how to do things is, well, we gave the AI access to read the data that you have in your system when you ask about it. So it can read events and what kind of event rules you have. It can check what reports and assets and point of interest and sort of a whole lot of things. But this is mainly operational data that you have. It's not as much the configuration part of it, which is we covered in the previous section. So if you want to ask what trackers do I have, you can check what the tracker types that you have connected, how many assets you have, where they've been, and so on. So just feel free to ask about what you found interesting.
So the GpsGate AI is aware of all the setups that you have in your configuration. So if you have created event rules, if you have created POIs, etc., AI is aware of those specifics on your specific installation. Is that
yes?
Yeah.
Exactly. Since all the installations are different, it needs to be able to see how you set this up. But it can also just need to tell it what is the value that we want out of this. It can see what the event rule is, but why you keep just that one and what value it gives to you might need to be told.
And I think that brings us into the next topic, that is like about how you prompt things to get good answers. What is a good prompt to get a good answer?
Like generally with AI, if you have a specific question, you can get a specific answer. If the question is really general, then you get a general answer, and those are not as useful usually. So if you have something that you wonder, then state exactly that. It's important to be able to articulate exactly what you want. If you have something like who is the best driver, we don't really know what you mean is the best. Is it the one with the least speeding violation? Is it the one that has the most stops or whatnot? Depends on your business. So be specific. Don't be shy to tell it line by line exactly what you want. You can go as detailed as how fast was this car driving? Give me the 90th percentile and just go through all these track points for this day. Or it can be something else, but be specific in what you want. Then you can trust the result better because you will get that result that you asked for. And if you wonder how it sort of reasons, you can ask for that as well.
And if you're not happy with the answer, can you add a little bit more information to the question and carry on like a discussion with the AI?
It's a discussion with AI. It sort of remembers what you've asked before. Like I think we've all used the ChatGPT and the similar things. Like this is the same thing, just to continue the conversation. And if you want to change your topic, you can create a new conversation.
Yeah, but if you change topic completely, you should refresh and start over basically.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good practice to clean out the context so that it doesn't refresh refer to your old conversation when you have a new topic.
Yeah, if you have asked for a specific group in the previous conversation and then you want to know something about the entire fleet in the next, then the AI will not understand that you're now talking about the entire fleet.
Well, it might. But, try that.
It might. Yeah. Okay, so an example like speeding is obvious for most people. Many of our customers they start with speeding basically, and speeding can be everything about in between, like comparing with actual speed limit of the road, or in this case it's like heavy trucks not allowed to go faster than 80. So the prompt is simply who has been speeding, and then it's actually using the event rules that has been set up in this system, and it's giving the answers like this. So it's not pulling out the report specifically for this, it's just getting the data out of the system, and that's a fairly fast way to ask a question and get fast response.
Yeah, like this is simply just extracting data from your system and visualizing it in this table way.
And speeding, I mean, the reason why people care about speeding, I mean, speeding tickets, it's also very expensive for a heavy truck to go faster than 80, then you consume much more fuel. So there are many reasons not to go too fast. And if a driver is losing his speeding lesson, then his license, then I mean, it's hard to replace him, and it's many bad things happening when you go speeding in a professional fleet. So another example here. In this example, we have a customer. They care about theft, and they have set up a system where they have driver's ID with ID beacons. So each time a driver jumps into a vehicle, the driver is identifying himself by using a beacon. And as you see here on the left side, you see that there is a suspicious theft going on. One of the drivers is not identified on one vehicle. So just to check if AI can understand this, the prompt here is a little bit more specific. It's actually asking what vehicle was driving without driver ID today. That was the prompt. And that's quite specific. The system has the driver ID set up up and running, and then you get the answer that vehicle 4, and that's the same vehicle that has this theft alarm going on. And so AI actually captured this event.
Yeah, it's sort of to the left there. We have the like the event rule, like showing this off. But when we ask the AI here, like a driver ID, it's sort of taking this and sort of reason around your question and then finds out. So it's sort of correlating different kind of data, but shows the same result.
Yeah, and to help AI to answer your specific question, if you asked what vehicle was stolen today, maybe AI wouldn't understand what you mean. Maybe that would be less specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is very cool as well. So what we want to show you here is that you also have AI in your smartphone with a fleet app. So when you sign up for GpsGate, you have this automatically in your fleet app as well. You download the fleet app from the store. So in this example, we have a car rental company, and they want to know when their cars are returned to the hub. In this place is an airport. So when you see the vehicles here, they are returned to the base, and you have a geofence there that is identifying the hub. And we go to the AI assistant in the fleet app, and now we ask what vehicles has been returned today to the rental area. And then this is quite interesting as well, because you actually see push notifications that the cars that we saw on the previous screen, they are now being returned. So it's actually capturing that in real time as well. So you see which vehicles that has been returned today. It's 3 rental vehicles that has been returned. So very straightforward. Non-technical person can absolutely ask this question into the system, and he can do it when he's coming home from work. He can just check, are all my cars returned today?
Yeah, and the functionality in the fleet app is the same as you have in the vehicle tracker, but we've adapted the answers for a smaller screen, so you get less text. We don't really want to give you bigger tables and so on, but depending on how you ask, you can sort of get your get the same information out from it.
And on the next example, we'll show you that the built-in AI tool in GpsGate can actually present the data in different ways, and it can be much more specific about the prompting that we talked about before. In this example, you have a configuration in GpsGate where you have created points of interest around all your customers, all customers that you're regularly visiting. So, and you have those customers in 3 different regions, in south, central, and north. So in the prompt up there, you see that you ask the AI to categorize the customer visits in 3 regions, and you want to color code them in yellow, blue, and purple. And as you see here, the prompt is quite detailed, and then the answer can be quite detailed as well. You know exactly how many customer visits is in each region, and you see what vehicles that were visiting, and you see it in a nice, quite graphical way. So play around with this when you're testing.
Yeah.
So another thing that is interesting we talked about that sometimes you want to add additional questions when you're prompting. So in this example, here is a long list of vehicles. I'm now particularly interested in the fire trucks. So I'm asking for, please bring out the fire trucks in this group of vehicles. And then AI is selecting the fire trucks, finding that group. And then continuing to ask, I want to see the report for the group that I just selected. Yeah. And then the AI is starting to look for that information, not for the entire group, but for the group that I just selected. And then it brings up the trip and idle report. And here is the example of, it's not presenting me the data directly when I'm prompting, it's directing me to a report instead. Why is it doing like that?
Because reports are the what we found is sort of the most sort of useful things that we want to promote. But it's also a functionality that we have that can crunch a lot of data. If you want just to have a quick chat with the AI, then it don't really want to wait for all this data to be gathered and processed and so on. So that's when a report is a lot better to do. And if you just want to have a quick check, then we can get a small table of that like that in the AI window. So I think that's how to reason around it. Like if you're asking for a lot of data, then it's best to have a report for that.
And also the reporting in GpsGate is very accurate. So if you're a little bit uncertain about the response of AI, you can double check it with a report to see if your prompt was detailed enough, for example. Yeah.
Because like if you're having a general question, then the AI might interpret it in a different way than we do the report. A reported certainly standardized, so you'll get the same process every time.
Yeah. Okay, then we get into the next area, device management and troubleshooting. So in this example, you have it's a quick link device, and you see in the upper part the raw data from the device. It's coming into the terminal of GpsGate. And for many people, this is like very hard to understand. It's not human readable, especially if you're new to telematics. So in this prompt, we're just asking, tell me, what is this basically? We're asking the GpsGate AI, what is this data meaning? And the one specific thing that this customer was interested in was the G-force signal. So it's pretty hard to see if G-force is identifiable up there in the raw data. But when you ask this question, you see that you get exactly the G-force number. It's at 1.8 G detected, and you get in human readable format all the information about this data. So this can be in what way can this be helpful for troubleshooting?
Well, a lot of signals coming from the trackers can be different depending on what tracker you have, what kind of vehicle you have, and so on. So if you want to set up a specific rule, you need to find, well, is the signal coming from the tracker? Are we mapping this and so on? So part of troubleshooting this, then just getting the data from the terminal, pasting that in, and getting an understanding for what is coming might help you with your troubleshooting. But of course, there are plenty of ways to handle this, but this is just one way of showing how to troubleshoot and what a use case around that.
Yeah. And then we enter an area that is one of the unique selling points of GpsGate, I must say, that in GpsGate we have scripting built in. So this means that you can create basically any business policy with GpsGate. We have a powerful event rule engine that can create all kinds of event rules in a GUI, but you can extend that with scripting. So scripting is you need to be a bit technical and understand scripting to build it. But with AI built in, we think we are lowering the threshold of who can do scripting. So can you elaborate a bit on this?
Yes, we can do so much in GpsGate, especially with the scripting that opens up a world of possibilities. But scripting is also something that been needing developers to do for a long time. But with AI that's been trained to do programming in a good way, then we can lower the threshold. So you can talk with the AI can do the scripting, and then you just need to find a way how to find out that it captures all the details of your use case.
Yeah. So let's look at what that means. When you log into GpsGate, where should you look for this in your account? So this is the scripting AI capabilities. So explain what we see here.
Yeah. This is the scripting part of the event rule wizard. So if you go in, create an event rule, and you set a scripting expression, then you can go in and edit that script. What we've added now is this left panel here, where you can write an AI prompt. It sees what script you have and what data is available and so on. So in this case, we had one customer with a really valuable cargo that it had in a loading area, and it wanted to take that to the offloading area. And to be really specific, it wanted to follow a specific route so that it doesn't get derailed or so on. But it also wanted to give the driver a bit of like freedom. So if it's sort of off this track for more than 30 minutes, then an event should be powered up. So it still has, like, the driver can stay for a toilet break or whatnot. So we asked the AI to create this scripting event rule so that when the truck comes into the loading area and starts loading, we start tracking this so that when it comes out, it follows a specific route. If it leaves the route for more than 30 minutes, like, well, that's like firing the alarm. Otherwise, if it follows the route to the offloading area, then it's free to go wherever it wants later on. And this requires a script, because if you only have a route geofence, then it might trigger if any traffic is just passing through that fence or like something else. So this one really only triggers when you've been loading the high value cargo.
And this customer actually also used this script to only display the vehicles that are in this route when they are in the loading zone or when they are on track to the offloading zone and when it's offloading. And when it's outside of this, it's not visible. It's not shown anywhere. So that's a pretty advanced functionality. And typically when a developer is doing a script like this, it could take 2 days to make it perfect and to test it and so forth. But when we did this one, it takes a few minutes to do it. And the good thing in GpsGate, you can test it immediately to see if the script is behaving as you want it to. So please start playing around with scripting and see if you can do faster time to market, do proof of concepts faster when customers coming to you with like advanced requirements. The scripting can help you to comply to their requirements much faster. And of course, bring us in to help out as well, because we are also getting better and better at how to prompt things. So use our resources as well.
Yeah.
All right. Then the challenge. So now it's time to really wake up. So what you will do is you will send an email to sales@gpsgate.com. And then if you, the reason to do it is you will win a great prize if you win this competition. You'll take a screenshot, and that the screenshot will be about you create an AI prompt in your cloud account, and then this should give valuable insight to the user. So be creative of use cases that are really representing high value, a creative question where you get interesting answers from AI. Take a screenshot from the prompt and from the results and send that to sales@gpsgate.com. So we are really excited about this and see what you come up with. And it's actually quite fun to prompt with the AI tool. Yeah. So this is a summary. Maybe you want to summarize what we have been discussing.
Yeah. So what the AI is helping you with is sort of get you unstuck so that if you don't know what to do, you can learn how to configure and how to do things. You can pull the fleet insights if you wonder how things are going, or so the AI has the data for you. So we can also help out with device troubleshooting and just finding out what's happening and so on. And the scripting. The scripting is something that's just lowers the barrier to entry here. And of course, we always are improving. We're working on this so that you might find something that's sort of didn't really vibe with you right now, but try it again in a few weeks and it might be better. We're constantly learning together with you.
And I think that there are many different people that can benefit from this. If you are an administrator, advanced user of GpsGate, you can benefit from this by using scripting and using AI with advanced functionality. If you're new to GpsGate, you can also learn and get quickly into the product. And if you're a fleet manager, one of your customers, you can ask interesting questions about your fleet. You can try to find patterns and find behavior that is hard to see with a human eye. So there are many different people that can benefit from this. And GpsGate, we try always to remove friction, and we see this AI launch as a really, really good step forward to remove friction for anyone using the system. And it's also very much in hand with getting to value fast. You have a problem, you want to fix that fast, and we believe that AI can really help us to achieve that. So that's what we wanted to show. But you can always contact us in support if you have any questions about this. And now we go into questions and answers.
So we have one question, like where in the fleet app can you access the AI?
Okay, yeah, that it should be. If you sign up for a cloud account today, you will have it automatically in your upper right corner. It's a small AI symbol up there. If you have an account that is in production, you can contact support if you want to enable it. It's not automatically enabled. And that also brings me to a question that I hear now and then. If you don't want this to be for everybody, if you want to introduce it step by step, how do you do that?
Yeah, the AI is, as with everything else in GpsGate, it's just toggled on with a permission, or toggled off in this case, since it's on by default. It's called Use AI Assistant, and it's there. So you can just switch it on or off depending on what you think your users.
So you can do it on user level and you can do it on application level. So one customer can have access to it and another one doesn't have access to it.
Yeah.
So
it's a permission.
And about fleet, when you sign up for when you download the fleet app, you have AI enabled if you have it enabled on your cloud account as well.
Yeah, we're rolling it out incrementally.
Yeah. And to be clear, you need the GpsGate Cloud to have this. Maybe you can elaborate a bit on why and how we are using cloud for AI.
Yeah, we are only rolling out for cloud. So if you want to keep it really local, like on your on-prem, then you would require like a specialized hardware to run AI agents and so on. So we're only rolling this out for the cloud offering, since it's a lot of more specialized software that we have on the side as well.
Yeah.
Then can you restrict managers to not be able to conduct changes on certain parameters only allowed by administrator? Well, it's the AI has exactly the same permissions as the user operating them. So you can't do any more changes with the AI than you could standalone in the product by clicking. So if you have administrators that you don't want to be able to do something, then it's the permissions that you cover.
So for example, if I'm an operator managing small vehicles in the fleet, I only have that permission to operate for small vehicles. Then when I'm the operator and prompting, I cannot ask for any other vehicles. I will not get any data from any other vehicles than my permission. So it's the same permissions you have for everything else.
Yes, they can't see anything more than the user in itself.
Yeah, and I think that we will get a lot of more questions when you're starting to test this, and we will always answer them in support as usual. But I am really happy that you could join this webinar, and please send in your super interesting prompt and their interesting results about fleet insights and to win the nice prize. So I think that was the last thing we had to say. So thank you very much.